Okay. So direct variation with tables, graphs, and equations. Direct variation, all that means, it's really the same as slope, what you guys just did. So they write it y equals kx, and k is the same as m. So remember what m stood for on slope intercept form? What did m stand for? Slope. M was your slope, which is rise over run, right? Okay, so that's the same thing. M and K, same thing. K is just another letter that stands for slope. So a direct variation is a linear relationship in which the ratio of y to x is constant, or m, so it's the same. In a direct variation, y varies directly with x, so same thing, y over x. And there is no b value, so there's no y-intercept. So to do this, same thing, just like you would do finding slope. If we want to find the direct variation in this table they give us, this example 1, we're going to find our change in y over the change in x, okay? So if we were going to do that, we could pick our 2 points. I'm just going to pick the first two. So 4, 16.8, 6, and 25.2. And we're finding that change. So 25.2 minus 16.8 over 6 minus 4. Okay, so we get 8.4, and then what is 6 minus 4? 2. Okay, so then let's take one more step and let's reduce that or divide it. 4.2. Okay, and that's your answer. That's your slope. That's the K. So then we can plug it into that formula, because a lot of your questions are going to say write an equation. And so all it means is plug that in for K or for M. So I'm going to write y equals 4.2 x, and that's it. Later, but just so you know, if it's an equation that looks like that, there is no plus something else, there's no extra number, then it's going to be proportional. But we'll talk about that later, but just so you're kind of aware of it, that's a proportional. Okay, the next example is a graph, but we're still doing the same thing. We want to pick 2 points, or we can use our rise over run, but we have to make points. And we want to figure out what our slope is so we can plug it in for K. Remember, K is the same as M. Okay, so I can put a point at 0, 0. And then where else can we make one more point just to find our slope?
1 and 2.
2, 1?
Yeah.
Okay, because that line goes in between that cross, in between those crosshairs. So that's where we want to put another point. Okay, so then what is our rise? What's our change in y?
1.
1 over, what's the change in x? 2. Okay, so that's my slope, or my constant rate of change, all the same. All those words kind of mean the same thing. And you're just plugging it into that equation. Just a couple examples on the back. What is the constant or pattern in the equation below? And we want to write it in that format, y equals kx. So to find the k, we're looking for change in y over change in x. So let's figure that out. What is our change in y? What's 62.4 minus 39? And then our change in x, what is 8 minus 5? 23.4, and then 8 minus 5 is 3. 7.8. That's our K, or your M. So to write my full answer, I'm going to put y equals 7.8 x. Okay? Okay, the next one is a graph. Same thing. Represent this relationship with an equation. So y equals kx is my equation that I want to find K, change in Y over change in X. So yeah, if we can zoom in, well, y'all can't zoom in, but I can zoom in. So I can put a point at 0, 0, -2. Where can another point go?
You can put it
-4.
-2, 3. -2, +2. Oh,
Is that a point there? That one is kind of hard to see.
I've already done it.
I'm just looking to see where it kind of crosses in the cross, where the line crosses the crosshairs.
Yeah, there's -2 and 2 crosshairs.
But it's kind of hard because it's graph.
Wow. 6, 8, and 9.
So let's just look at the closest points together.
Wait, whoa.
Ah. And what is our rise
This one down here.
to the run? Over 2. Even if that I use that point that he was talking about, that he said he put his point there, I'm still going to go down 1, 2, 3 over 2.
Whoa.
Okay? It should all be the same. So -3 over 2. Any of those points you put on there will reduce down and it'll make the same slope. So then all together in an equation, y equals -3 over 2x. Okay, the next one, what is the constant / pattern in the equation below?
-9.
When they ask that, they just want to know the k or the m, which is the slope.
Same thing. 9.4 over 1.
So yeah, it's just -9.4. It's already in the equation. It's just asking you to identify what it is.
Wow.
Okay, then on the very last one, the approximate volume in millimeters M for a volume of fluid ounces is equal to 18.42 times the value of F. So which table represents this relationship? So remember in a table, X and Y, X and Y, X and Y, X and Y. So basically the F, the fluid ounces, is my X. And so it's saying to approximate the volume, it's equal to 18.42 times the value of F, or X. Okay? So, which one of those would represent that?
Wow.
What's wrong with A?
It's wrong because the fluid ounces.
It's mixed
So-
up. It's switched backwards.
Right. Well, and it's saying if I multiply 18.42 times 0, what do I get?
0.
It would be 0. What's wrong with C?
They got it on the. It's almost like the same one. It's just they got it on like wrong.
They had them backwards, first of all. And same thing. If you multiply it by 0, it's 0. But that's not going to work. So it should be B. Because for 1 fluid ounces, we get our Y, 18.42. Because if I plug in 1 for X, I get 18.42. That's what the table says.